7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, and welcome to County Executive Angela Alsobrooks' 2021 State of the Economy Address, hosted by the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation in partnership with the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable. Today's program is sponsored in part by Pepco, NAI Michael, GS Proctor and Associates, and FSC First. And now, let us honor our country with the singing of the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Please welcome our MC for the morning, Mr. M.H. Jim Estep, President and CEO of the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable.
I want to welcome you to the State of the Economy Address by County Executive Angela Alsobrooks, with remarks by County Council Chair Calvin Hawkins. This event is sponsored by the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable and the Economic Development Corporation of Prince George's County in partnership. The Roundtable has been sponsoring this event for over a decade, along with the Economic Development Corporation, but this is the first time that we've not had a breakfast, so I apologize for not having breakfast for you this morning. Hopefully you've had that, and we certainly want to welcome you to participate in this first virtual event for the State of the Economy. I want to thank the United States Air Force for providing that incredible color guard and honor guard, and in addition to the singing of the national anthem. These men and women are there for us just like our first responders, protecting our nation. Thank you so much for what you do, and thank you so much for the sacrifices that you and your families make. They are there for us, protecting our nation, and we really appreciate them being with us to honor Prince Georgians and to help us celebrate the State of the Economy event today. We want to thank the Economic Development Corporation and county government for helping to make this opportunity available to everyone as we look forward with much optimism to the future of our county and our region. And certainly, since we're emerging from this pandemic, there is a lot to look forward to. We've been through a great deal, but there's a great future ahead of us. To all of our frontline workers, the first responders, the healthcare professionals, and everyone in county government who has worked tirelessly to make our county safe and to protect the most vulnerable in our population. We want to say thank you, God bless you, thank you for everything that you do on a daily basis, putting your lives on the line in many cases for us. We're fortunate to have the leadership of County Executive Angela Also Brooks and our County Council during this period. They have worked extremely hard, not only with what is a difficult job to start with, but to deal with this pandemic, and they have shown a great deal of leadership. And we want to thank them, and we'll be talking more about what their accomplishments have been. But we also want to thank everyone who's in attendance, and particularly our sponsors, and they will be mentioned specifically a little later on. Let me take a moment to introduce a few individuals that are certainly worthy of recognition and play such an important role every day in our lives and our businesses. First, I want to recognize the chair of our board at the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable, Donna Cooper. Donna, in addition to being chair of our board, is also president of Pepco Region. Also want to give a shout out to Christine Ray, who is Secretary Treasurer of the Roundtable. And in her day job, Christine is president of MedStar Southern Maryland Hospital. And again, all of our hospitals, including Southern Maryland, have done an incredible job during this pandemic. I also want to thank all of the members of the Board of Directors of the Roundtable and those who work with us on a day-to-day basis. In county government, there are a couple of individuals that I want to single out that are with the county executive every day, helping to run this government and to provide services, and they've done a stellar job during this pandemic. First of all, to Tara Jackson, the county's Chief Administrative Officer. That's the person who runs our government on a day-to-day basis. To Joy Arnold Russell, the Chief of Staff to the county executive. Also another tireless individual who's done an incredible job dealing with so many challenges during the pandemic. And to Jared McCarthy, who is the Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Government Operations. To Floyd E. Holt, who is the DCAO for Government Infrastructure and Technology. Also, we want to give a shout out to Angie Rogers. I've worked a great deal with Angie during the pandemic, and I can tell you that she is not only tireless, but she is a steady hand who has provided invaluable assistance in a number of projects during the period. She is DCAO for Economic Development. And to Mark McGaugh, another stellar individual who has had his hands full during the pandemic. He is DCAO for Public Safety and Homeland Security. George Askew, who runs Health, Human Services, and Education. All of these individuals have worked together with the agencies in government, the people who do the day-to-day work, and who make certain that the services are available when you need them. Our county has a lot to be thankful for. We have a bright future to look forward to, and we have incredible leadership in place, and you're going to see exactly what's on the horizon in the near future. Thank you all for attending today. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to bring someone to the podium that all of you know, but you probably don't know some of the stories about him that I do. I first met David Iannucci when we took a trip to Israel. We just happened to be on the same tour that was sponsored by the Greater Washington Jewish Council, and it was quite an event, but I had a chance to see him close up. I had heard about him, but didn't know him personally. David has served in some incredibly important roles throughout our state. He was Cabinet Secretary and head of the Department of Business and Economic Development under Governor Paris Glendening. He also served as head of economic development for Baltimore County. He came to Prince George's County and was Assistant Deputy Chief Administrative Officer for Economic Development under Executive Rushern Baker. And today, he is President of the Economic Development Corporation. That's a quasi-governmental entity that plays such an important role in economic development in Prince George's County. And you couldn't find a better, more experienced, more talented individual than David Iannucci to head that agency. He has a team of people that are incredible, and they are providing the gateway to anyone wanting to do business in Prince George's County, helping with recruitment, retention, and all of those things that go into making our economy viable. Let's welcome David Iannucci, President of the Economic Development Corporation and co-sponsor of this event.
Good morning, Prince George's County. My name is David Iannucci, and it is my honor to serve as President and CEO of the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation in the administration of County Executive Angela Alsobrooks. The Economic Development Corporation is proud to be part of a team of professionals in the Alsobrooks administration, all focused on economic development. 2020 was a year like none other, a year we will not forget. But the Alsobrooks administration and its partners, such as the Economic Development Corporation, rose to the challenge with a strategic focus on dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic, of course, was a terrible, terrible health crisis, one that we will never forget, and we have to keep in our hearts the sorrow and the pain that is suffered in the community. At the same time, it has been a terrible economic crisis, a real challenge to our business community. And Prince George's County and its business community have proven their ability to withstand the challenge. Along with our colleagues at FSC First, Experience Prince George's County, we were able to spend and send more than $40 million in grants to more than 1,600 businesses in Prince George's County. In addition, we kept the business community focused and informed through numerous Zoom technical assistance and informational webinars, our social media pages, and our COVID-19 resource page on our website. While many businesses clearly suffered, and unfortunately we lost a number of companies in the county, we know that many of our entrepreneurs took 2020 as a challenge and reinvented their businesses. This speaks to the resiliency of the Prince George's County business community and its ability to withstand these types of challenges, the fiercest storms of all. Please know that as a business owner, you have a partner in the Economic Development Corporation. Our goals are to retain and support our existing businesses, those businesses that have invested in Prince George's County already, to attract new jobs and new companies to Prince George's County, and to work to ensure that local businesses have all the resources and the guidance they need to improve their experience and their success in the county. At the Economic Development Corporation, we have two overriding principles: growing the county's commercial tax base and growing the number of jobs in Prince George's County. And we are very, very proud of the fact that for 6 years, Prince George's County has led the entire state of Maryland in job growth, adding more than 25,000 jobs. We're dedicated to working tirelessly with our colleagues to ensure that that economic success, notwithstanding COVID, continues. And we thank both the county leaders, county agencies that are part of that mission, and in particular the private sector and those leaders that have helped Prince George's County weather this terrible pandemic. Before I thank our top sponsors, allow me to acknowledge and thank DCAO Angie Rogers and her team for working collaboratively with the Economic Development Corporation to support our business community. I'd also like to thank Orland Johnson, the chairman of the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation Board of Directors, and all of the members of the EDC board for joining us in today's presentation. I ask you to also join me in thanking the Economic Development Corporation Marketing and Communications team, led by Lori Valentine, and the Where's My Meeting team, the production company that is putting this programming together. And finally, thank you to our business community and the many companies that are present here today. Thank you for your support, your encouragement, leadership, and in particular, your investment in Prince George's County. We owe all of you our thanks and gratitude. I especially want to thank our partners at the Greater Prince George's County Business Roundtable. Jim Estep is founder, CEO, president, and my dear friend. Jim is focused on bringing together business community leadership in the county and making sure that this county connects with our great assets, such as Joint Base Andrews. Jim, thank you for your leadership over the years in many, many positions in the county. Thank you for working with the Economic Development Corporation on today's presentation. Thank you all for joining us, and enjoy the rest of today's program.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsor.
You don't know me,
But I need you to do something for me.
Something that could change everything.
For you?
For me.
For everyone.
Deal?
This is our shot to leave COVID behind.
And now I would like to acknowledge our tremendous sponsors who have made us Prince George's proud and have helped make this event a success. Our thanks to our gold sponsors, Pepco, GS Proctor & Associates, NAI Michael. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Our thanks to our silver sponsors, Care First, Employ Prince George's, and Delta Research and Educational Foundation. Other sponsors can be found in our virtual exhibit hall at the bottom of your screen. Please give them a virtual round of applause. Thank you.
Greetings. I'm Steve Proctor of GS Proctor & Associates. We're a proud sponsor of the State of the Economy, being put on by the Prince George's County Business Roundtable and the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation. You will hear from Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks and Chairman of the Prince George's County Council, Mr. Calvin Hawkins. Again, we're super excited and looking forward to this wonderful event, and we're a proud sponsor.
It's now my great honor to introduce the chairman of the Prince George's County Council, Calvin Hawkins. I've known Calvin for many years. He's a great leader. He is focused on the business community. He's focused on making sure that all parts of Prince George's County share in our economic success. He's concerned about every citizen in Prince George's County. Again, it is my honor to introduce our next speaker, Calvin Hawkins, chairman of the Prince George's County Council. Thank you.
What a morning. Good morning. I am Calvin Hawkins, and I serve as the chair of the County Council of Prince George's County, Maryland. It is my pleasure to join you and County Executive Angela Alsobrooks for this virtual State of the Economy address. Thank you, Madam County Exec, for your kind invitation. The purpose-driven, decisive leadership of our extraordinary County Executive and her collaboration with the County Council continues to guide us as one Prince George's County through these extraordinary and challenging times. I am honored, my friends, for the opportunity to offer a few remarks from this podium. A global pandemic like COVID-19 has not happened in 100 years, and it struck the heart of our communities, presenting unprecedented challenges to our health, safety, and future of our local economy. It has exposed, I must admit, and worsened health disparities and inequities, overwhelmed social services, limited opportunities for recreation, and shifted the basic needs of our residents for food, housing, and jobs. With all the uncertainties of COVID-19, one thing remains clear. Our county will grapple with its fiscal impacts for years to come. That's why the County Council is continuing its work with the county executive and her budget team, our residents and all stakeholders to closely monitor revenue collections and overall economic trends to address fluctuations as they come. This is a great place to acknowledge the hard work of the Prince George's County Economic Development Corporation during these challenging times under the steady leadership of EDC President and CEO David Iannucci and Chair Orlin Johnson. Thank you for your support of our business community, especially now. Former Councilmember Jim Eastep, what can we say about you? As the President and CEO of the Greater Prince George's County Business Roundtable, you have been a rock during this time. And to the Chair, Donna Cooper, you also deserve special recognition for your strong and steady partnership with us in these trying times. What can we say about you, Donna? Your leadership has been immeasurable. Your commitment has established a legacy that all business leaders may emulate. Donna, Orlin, Jim, and David, thanks to leaders like you, we are working toward achieving a sustainable recovery. I must admit, though, that the challenges have been great, but so has the leadership of our county and the resilience of our residents, communities, and yes, our businesses. As we move closer to a post-pandemic reality, when more of us can become vaccinated and in turn we begin reopening, we can see brighter days for the future of Prince George's County and its residents. We can see the opportunities before us. That's great news, and here's a more encouragement for you. With a AAA bond rating, Wall Street still recognizes our promise. We continue to focus on economic development opportunities that place at the core an enhanced quality of life for all Prince Georgians and provide support for more of our residents and our local businesses to prosper and grow. My friends, that's good news. We believe that the worst is in our rear view and better days are ahead. We are supported in that belief by the partnerships occurring in our community each and every day and at every level of government. Allow me a moment to salute our businesses and our nonprofits as critical partners in our crisis response and recovery efforts. You have been on the ground with us from day one, caring for our residents, providing for their most basic needs, from food drives to vaccinations. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Stay with us. We need you to stay with us. Going forward, you will continue to be just as important to a successful recovery. The County Council, as the county's fiscal authority, is continuing to invest in Prince Georgians, and we thank every partner for their leadership and committed service to our residents and their partnership with us. We have begun the Council's budget review and adoption process and appreciate the thoughtful assembly of the proposed fiscal year 2022 spending plan submitted to the county last month by the county executive and her executive budget team. Roll up your sleeves, for some really hard work is ahead of us as we grapple with the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic on your local economy for years to come. We will come together as a community, however, to produce a final budget document for the coming year that ensures our county's fiscal priorities are met while securing an even brighter future for Prince George's County. We are driven in this effort by a shared purpose and common priorities, especially regarding post-pandemic recovery, police reform, public safety, education, economic development, and jobs. I believe the most successful way to achieve our shared priorities is to work together to accomplish them. It has been said, and I agree, many hands make light work. This is a much lighter lift together, And another reason we deeply appreciate our county executive and her active commitment to partnering with the council to enhance the quality of life for our residents. We appreciate the strong support of our partners in Annapolis as well. We are delighted that groundbreaking legislation was passed just recently supporting qualified data centers in the county. This will mean more of the jobs we need while expanding the all-important commercial tax base in the county. The council will, with the partnership of County Executive Alsobrooks, we will continue to strengthen our ongoing efforts to promote and preserve housing stability and affordability for our residents with a key investment in the county's Housing Investment Trust Fund. County Executive Alsobrooks' announcement of a new Prince George's County Police Chief, one committed to public safety, building trust in the community, and improving relationships, accountability, and inclusiveness across the department is exciting, and our citizens are looking forward to that moment as well as you are as our business leaders. The council looks forward to active community engagement during the council's upcoming confirmation proceedings. And opening this spring, as the commercial keep telling us, our new hospital is about to change up everything. Located in Largo, heart of Prince George's County, the new state-of-the-art regional medical center will provide improved access to quality health care for our residents. In addition, we welcome the regional medical center as an important community partner to help improve the health status of our residents. Our students are beginning to return to the classroom, and thanks to an historic, unique public-private partnership, the first in the country, those classrooms are in for a long overdue upgrade. We are financing, building, renovating, and maintaining 6 new middle schools through the Prince George's County Alternative Construction Financing Program over the next 4 years. I personally want to thank you for your sensitivity to racial equity and social justice relative to economic parity. We are looking forward to working with the county executive and each of you as we discuss and establish legislation that will ensure economic equity in the usage of county funds as incentives to recruit businesses to our county. We can ill afford to just discuss economic empowerment and economic equity. Our actions must be intentional, practical, and strategic. We are excited about the economic boom occurring in the county, and the countywide map amendment process is moving towards completion. This zoning rewrite initiative is important to the future economic viability of our county. Thank you to everyone who has supported the county executive, park and planning, and the county council in our efforts to move the CMA forward. COVID notwithstanding, these are just a few of the many forward-thinking visionary initiatives coming to life in our county, creating the new local jobs we need, providing economic benefits, and positioning the county and our nearly 1 million residents to emerge from our challenges even stronger than before. These are times like none other, not only for the challenges, but also for the opportunities before us. Together, we are charting our path forward and working together in new ways to restore the county's shared prosperity. This council remains committed to the progress we are achieving with you and all county stakeholders, and to creating a thriving, sustainable financial future for our county that benefits us all. Again, on behalf of my colleagues, thank you for your time. We are grateful to each of you for your partnership, and we look forward to a stronger, better Prince George's County. Let's make Prince George's County better than we found it. Our good days are still ahead of us. My friends, we started off in a very challenging moment. Today, we're looking at the brighter days that are ahead of us, and with each and every one of you, we are going to make Prince George's County better than we found it. Thank you very much, and have a great morning.
And now, Stay tuned for a word from our sponsors.
You are invited to join the conversation about eliminating health disparities. There's a gap in medical research that only you can fill. The Delta Research and Educational Foundation is leading the dialogue to educate African Americans that research matters in order to improve the overall health and wellness of present and future generations. To let your voice be heard, visit joinallofus.org/DREF. The future of health begins with you.
I want to thank Council Chair Calvin Hawkins for speaking on behalf of the 11-member County Council. Calvin, you did a terrific job, and you've always been a hero of mine, both in politics and as an individual. The challenges that you've overcome have been incredible, and Prince George's County is fortunate to have you as the chair of our County Council. And now for the big event, the main event, our keynote address today by someone known to all of you who is doing an absolutely incredible job as our county executive. Once again, I'll just mention a quick personal story. When I first met her, she was head of the Revenue Authority. And I had provided some issues of concern and asked her if she might be able to work on some of those issues. Lo and behold, it didn't take 2 weeks and I had a call back and everything that I had asked of her had been done. And that's pretty unusual when you're dealing with government. So I must say that from that moment on, I was extremely impressed and have been and continue to be to this day. Angela Also Brooks was elected county executive and the first woman to hold that office in November of 2018. She had previously served as our elected state's attorney for 8 years. The job is tough enough, but when you're in the middle of a pandemic and you have a crisis on your hands, and it's the first time since 1917 that something like that has been presented to our country, you have really got to call on all of your talent and the talent around you to make certain that people are safe, that the job is done well, and that leadership prevails on every task that we're confronted with. Ms. Also Brooks has met those challenges, and she's met them head on. She charted a course that has helped to save lives and to bolster our struggling economy during this crisis. The creation of the Prince George's Forward Task Force, which had approximately 80 members from every sector of our community, including a past governor. That task force was given the job of looking at our current needs and our future ones, particularly post-pandemic. The task force produced several reports which have been adopted by county government. Some of the items have already been put in place and are working, and it's a guide to help us back to full prosperity. Her leadership style combines compassion with a strong sense of right and wrong, and her training in the law and public safety certainly has helped to improve our quality of life while protecting those most in need of assistance. She is a role model for so many people, and especially young women who aspire to be in leadership positions at the highest levels of government and corporations. Let's welcome County Executive Angela Also Brooks as she reports on the state of our economy in Prince George's County.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Prince George's County Executive, Angela Also Brooks.
Good morning, everyone. It is an honor to be here with you at a time like no other in our county's history. All of you have contributed to the growth of Prince George's County, and I am grateful for this opportunity to deliver the 25th State of the Economy. I'm especially grateful for the help of County Council Chair Calvin Hawkins, Employ Prince George's CEO Walter Simmons, and our longtime co-host, Economic Development Corporation CEO David Iannucci, and Jim Estep Sr., President and CEO of the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable, for their hard work. As we move closer to the end of this pandemic, it's clear that a healthy local economy requires a healthy community to support it. By providing for residents' health, literally in terms of greater access to health care and healthy food, but also in terms of access to transportation and other services like education and training, we set Prince George's County up for a successful future. This past year has provided many painful reminders of this important observation. Our county leads the state in COVID-19 cases. We saw a historic rise in unemployment at a point reaching over 10% as a result of COVID-19, and workers of color are carrying the greatest burden when it comes to job loss. In February, President Biden observed that we have more than 10 million people out of work. 4 million people have been out of work for 6 months or longer, and 2.5 million women have been driven from the workforce. 15 million Americans are behind in their rental payments, and 24 million adults and 12 million children literally don't have enough food to eat. COVID-19 created an economic crisis across the nation, and we felt that crisis here in Prince George's County. Recent Maryland labor data shows us a net loss of 33,000 jobs through the third quarter of 2020. Many of our residents lost friends, brothers, their sisters, their parents to COVID-19. The disease has had a disproportionate impact on Prince George's County because we are historically disadvantaged when it comes to health care access and healthy options for our residents which could contribute to a healthy lifestyle. In many ways, 2020 was the hardest year our county has faced. Our residents and county-based businesses have been on life support, mired in uncertainty, and at times closed for business. The pandemic was uneven, and our residents have been especially sick with COVID-19. In the face of these unprecedented conditions, we adapted our county government to meet the immediate needs of this community. We provided gap financing to those who unexpectedly lost their jobs. We provided rental assistance to residents trying to keep their families together under one roof. Our work exposed the compassion of this community as we worked with partners and volunteers to stand up and deliver food to thousands of residents during a time of great need. We aided residents with these unimaginable hardships and worked to protect our local economy. We worked to make sure sectors that were hardest hit by COVID-19 had what they needed to stay afloat. We issued more than $41 million in grants to over 1,500 businesses, including restaurants, child care centers, and hotels. And our efforts have allowed many businesses to remain open that would have otherwise closed. Now, we're working to ensure every Prince Georgian can receive the COVID-19 vaccine. These vaccinations offer us all hope. We continue to ramp up their delivery to residents, ensuring our supply of vaccine is distributed quickly and opening new vaccination sites for residents across the county. Now, a future free of COVID-19 and full of new opportunity is coming into focus. As we make our way beyond COVID-19, we need to keep this simple fact in mind. A healthy local economy requires a healthy community. For Prince George's County to grow in a long-term sustainable way, we must invest in our people and their well-being. That's why even over the past year, we've continued to make progress on our long-term goals. For example, we work to make county government more efficient by implementing our first ever electronic procurement system, which will save us millions of dollars over time. We move forward with police reform, expanding independent oversight, and providing greater access to emergency mental health services for residents in crisis. And with the help of county-based minority businesses like Estemi Enterprises and Columbia Enterprises, who partner with Clark, we completed construction on the state-of-the-art University of Maryland Capital Region Medical Center ahead of schedule. We secured Kirwan in Maryland in the legislature to ensure that our community receives a greater proportion of education funding so that our students are prepared for tomorrow. And we adopted the $1.2 billion Alternative School Construction Finance Program, a first for the nation. This program provides tremendous opportunities to local minority-owned businesses and will deliver 6 new schools for our students in just 3 years. We have continued to work on these long-term goals because the pandemic exposed the vulnerability in our community. We cannot allow Prince Georgians to be on the back foot when it comes to their health, their education, and their economic well-being. We must adopt long-term policies that create parity with our region, parity of health access, education access, and access to economic opportunity. A Prince Georgian with greater access to health care and greater access to education has a greater chance of finding a stable and fulfilling career. When we provide these opportunities to our residents, businesses see a stronger case for locating their services in our county. They see our residents as both prospective customers and employees. Our resourcefulness over the past year has preserved Prince George's County's path forward. Based on the work of our Prince George's Forward Task Force, we know that our county government can define this economic recovery. And experience shows us that the investments we make in our residents create momentum for progress and opportunity. As the uncertainty of this pandemic wanes, optimism emerges in its place. I am confident that we will rebuild our local economy stronger and better than it was before the pandemic, when we led the state of Maryland in job growth and our unemployment rate was historically low at 4%. Fundamentally, Prince George's County is positioned for growth over the next decade. The Metropolitan Washington Council of Governments reports that region-wide, we are facing a new housing shortfall of nearly 75,000 homes over the next decade. Even more, the Council of Governments recommends that 75% of all new housing should be in activity centers or near high-capacity transit lines. In addition, 75% of new housing should be affordable. Prince George's County has 2 transit corridors with more upside potential than any other in the region. That's why we will continue to support transit-oriented development along the Blue and Purple Line confidently, with the knowledge that new housing along these lines will directly raise the quality of life of our residents and that demand for this new housing will continue to grow. Branch Avenue continues to offer tremendous opportunity for new mixed-use development, with a number of projects moving forward, from single-family townhomes to office and retail space. Our progress in Largo continues, and we expect the hospital to open to the public this summer. In Suitland, we are supporting the General Services Administration, moving 1,800 BLS employees to join federal workers already located there. The New Carrollton Joint Development Project continues, and we look forward to the opening of the Stella multifamily building later this year. These projects represent opportunity for every Prince Georgian. Each new home we build with access to mass transportation unlocks our region for current residents and the residents we are working hard to attract. These steps will support new growth while protecting the health of our existing communities. As you all know, a healthy local economy requires a healthy community. We are working at a high level to provide for our residents' health and education, and we're working to meet the growing demand for homes in our community. These projects alone make Prince George's County more attractive for new investments. But with the help of our economic development team, we're incentivizing new types of businesses to join this growing community. Just recently, we've paved the way for high-value data centers to locate their facilities in Prince George's County. We continue to attract last-mile centers for shipping and delivery, and we are pursuing several manufacturers interested in working with us. We're glad to see businesses continuing to grow in our county. Giant is moving forward with their headquarters project here. Companies like Cybrary, a cybersecurity education platform, and Capital Electric continue to grow. And of course, IonQ, the most important quantum computing company in the world located in College Park, just went public with a valuation of $2 billion, a positive sign for long-term growth. We're also working with our residents to prepare them for new jobs. We're just weeks away from finishing the American Job Center at National Harbor. This is the first American Job Center in southern Prince George's County. Through a unique public-private partnership, we're the only county in Maryland to build an American Job Center during a public health crisis, inside a Tanger Outlets, safely expanding services for residents even during a pandemic. We expect this new center to serve between 3,000 and 8,000 residents annually, along with hundreds of county businesses. And we're leading a capital project to expand Vehicles for Change, a social enterprise that offers vehicles to families. Vehicles for Change ensures that the cars they provide to families are reliable with a staff of mechanics. Many of these mechanics receive on-the-job training through the Full Circle Training Program, which provides former inmates with employment as they re-enter society. Upon completion of the program, 100% of program graduates are immediately hired in the auto industry. Our county has also worked to make sure our residents have the tools they need to re-enter the workforce through the Workforce Development Recovery Program. Employ Prince George's provides residents who have lost their jobs as a result of the pandemic with career planning services, free skills training, and job placement assistance. This is one of many ways we're helping our job-seeking residents cope with the changing economy. What I've covered here today is a snapshot. After the COVID-19 crisis ends, we expect our county to rebound sharply. We're not alone in thinking that. The major bond agencies continue to rate our county AAA, the highest possible rating. We've maintained this rating by being good fiscal stewards during this crisis and keeping the future in mind. In 2013, President Obama stood just on the other side of the Anacostia River and delivered a speech on economic mobility. He said that our generation's task is to rebuild America's economic and civic foundation to continue the expansion of opportunity for this generation and the next. As county executive, I am personally invested in the success of every person I represent. And as a native Prince Georgian, I believe in my community. I believe that Prince Georgians will take full advantage of the opportunities in front of them. I believe that Prince Georgians will find ways to contribute to our community if they have the chance. And I believe it is our mission to expand these opportunities so that they can do just that. I also know that everyone listening now believes the same thing. Together, we are all one Prince George's community. Each of you sees an opportunity here for success, and I pledge to help our county grow. Prince George's County has a bright, opportunity-rich future, but it hasn't happened by accident. It's on us to remain informed about our community and to connect with one another in ways that support our growth. We will maximize our success by remembering that the opportunities our county has are nothing without people. Everything we build here in Prince George's County depends on the health of our residents. As the COVID-19 pandemic begins to draw to a close and a sense of optimism emerges, all of us invested in the future of Prince George's County need to keep in mind that a healthy local economy requires a healthy community. Every day, I will work to improve the health of Prince Georgians as we work together to make that bright future a reality. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive Alsobrooks. At this time, let's welcome back our co-hosts, Jim Estep and David Iannucci, with closing remarks.
I want to thank the county executive for those incredible remarks, providing a direction forward and giving us an indication of how Prince George's County is faring during this period, which is one of the worst in our history. And we look forward to the future that she has laid out. We look forward to helping her achieve the objectives that she believes will get us on the right track toward progress and prosperity post-pandemic. On behalf of the Economic Development Corporation and the Greater Prince George's Business Roundtable, we want to thank everyone who has attended the 2021 State of the Economy address by our county executive and the chair of the Prince George's County Council, Calvin Hawkins. Thank you for attending, and especially to our sponsors who stepped up to the plate. Even though we're in the middle of a pandemic and everybody is struggling, you stepped up and you supported this event. We hope that you'll sign up for next year. We hope that next year's event will be in person. And again, thank you to everyone who's been involved in putting the event together, to all of the staff people, everyone who participated in making this a successful event. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you to our great partners, the Business Roundtable. We hope to see you all in person next year. And we now invite our sponsors to join us in the networking event to follow.
We would like to thank you for joining us today for County Executive Angela Alsobrooks' 2021 State of the Economy Address. At this time, we would like to direct our sponsors to the Zoom networking reception. Please refer to the link you received in your email earlier this week. To our other guests, thank you for attending. Have a great day.